Right, find your space. Find your space to become as whole as life allows you to at the moment. Fragmented sometimes has to be. Okay, let's adjust that camera slightly. Boom, about there. See what that's like. Yeah, that's a little better. Right, just checking you're not going to hit walls or people if you're sharing the room with other people, not scraping your knuckles on the wall. Checking that weight-bearing joints, knees, hips, ankles feel okay on each side, and letting your body begin to move. That's it. Ah, that's great. Beginning to turn up, beginning to arrive. That's it. Letting the body turn where it's happy to turn. Letting the head turn on the shoulders. Right from the word go, taking the mind's eye out to that distant horizon. If the eyes are drawn up to the sky above the horizon, just playfully, respectfully bring them back down to that line between the sky and the earth. If they're drawn down towards the earth, towards the skirting board, again, very kindly bring them back up to that line between the sky and the earth. I can't hear if you have to sigh, but don't stifle a sigh or a yawn. How much of that horizon can you actually see out of the corner of your eye at the end of each swing? Just seeing a little bit more of that horizon. Not pushing through resistance. If you meet a barrier, just accept it, acknowledge it. That's it. Good. Empty coat sleeve arms just hanging off the shoulders. Feeling the weight of those arms, 5, 6, 7 pound of arm, just hanging off the tips of your shoulders. Feeling the weight of your fingers pulling on the palms of the hands. Feel the weight of your hands gently loosening, softening your wrists. Weight of the forearms, opening up the shoulders, the elbows. That's it. All the time, the waist leading each movement. The waist drawing the rest of the body from one side to the other. That's it. That's it. Lazy swings. Again, it's nice to move, but don't get too enthusiastic. Swinging in a way that doesn't use up that valuable energy, just helps it move. That's it. Good. And then just slowly letting each movement get a little less, a little less, a little less, a little less, until the movement disappears. Ah, there we are. Right, we're beginning to arrive, beginning to turn up. Feet under hips, aiming at a parallel stance, knees like springs, whole legs like springs. That's good. And finding a part of the room that isn't particularly interesting. That's it. It was quite fun. We had our first live at a venue session on Wednesday at Littlehampton. The weather was good, so we were outside, but it was very, very strange being in a group again. That's it. Now, just letting the arms begin to tick-tock. That's it. Lazy tick-tocks. That's it. Elbows soft, wrists soft. Right from the word go, using the image of the puppet string at the crown of the head. The puppet string lifts you, your arms swing up. The puppet string lets you drop, your arms drop. That's it. Eyes just resting on that distant horizon. Again, if the mind wanders and you go off somewhere, that's fine. Just bring the mind back to that horizon. Good. Each time the arms drop, let your attention go down to the soles of your feet, feeling how you touch the ground, touch the earth, feeling your heels pushing against whatever surface you're standing on, floorboards, paving slabs, yoga mat, carpet, feeling the presence of the earth, the support of the earth. That's it. If the knees don't like the bounce, just reduce the amount of springiness in them. That's it. Good. All the time, elbows are soft, wrists are soft. That's good. So, next stage is just letting the arms swing a little higher, no higher than shoulder height, and no higher than your shoulders are happy to swing. So if there's any limitation in the range of movement of your shoulders, don't push through it. Just make the movement as large as you can smile. That's it. That slightly higher movement up to shoulder height slows the movement down, allows gravity to really push the soles of our feet against the earth. Not just against the earth, down into the earth. Really letting our roots push down, anchoring us, grounding us, really helping us be present. That's it. Good. Now, to finish this movement, let each swing get a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. That upward swing, opening up the chest, helping you breathe more deeply. As the arms swing even higher, the stretch goes down into the belly. Allowing all the digestive tubes to work more efficiently. That's great. And then just let each swing get a little less, a little less, a little less. Smaller and smaller movements. Faster and faster, until eventually those movements just disappear. That's great. We're beginning to arrive. Now, while that exercise pushes our roots down, it also draws the chi up by opening up the chest, opening up the upper body. So while we're in this position, let's really take advantage of the fact that we're each in our own room, our own space at home. You can breathe deeply. It doesn't matter if you really let the breath out without any hesitation. No need to wear a mask or anything like that. So we'll do whole body breathing. Now we're in this space. So feet a little wider than shoulder width stance. As always, just making the movement first, just to make sure you're not going to hit anything. So arms coming up. How far up are your arms and shoulders happy to go up? Not pushing through any discomfort. How far back are the arms happy to go? That's it. I'm just stroking that curtain a little, so I'm just going to adjust my angle. That's it. Just making sure you're not going to hit anything. Oh, that's great. So you're familiar with this movement. Once you're used to the movement, you can put more attention to the intention of the movement. So breathing in to every part of the body, letting the chi, the oxygen, however you like to visualize it, get out to the tips of your fingers, down to your toes, letting the chi get to a part of your body which is neglected, forgotten about. Those bits of your body that maybe you just take for granted, really letting the energy get to those parts. So palms face backwards, breathe in, only as high as you can go, and this time we're just letting the breath out. The arms come out to either side. That's it. And again, palms face back. Let the knees and hips allow you to drop down. Breathe in through the nose if it's clear. Mouth breathing is fine if your nose is bunged up. And at your highest point, just let the breath out. That's it. That's great. One more, focusing just on the in-breath. Again, palms face back. Breathe in. At your highest point, let the belly soften, a moment of stillness, and then breathe out. That's great. So, as always, that's filling the body up. We have to empty the body. And just the same, you're familiar with the movement. You put more mind towards the intention. So a little bit more thinking about breathing out waste, breathing out rubbish, a particular part of the body where there might be a bit of rubbish. Really imagine breathing that rubbish out. Okay, palms face back. We breathe in first. Breathe in. This time, hold your breath. Big circle with the arms. Palms face up. And breathe out through the mouth. Palms face down, breathe in. Hold the breath, big circle, and breathe out. In through the nose if it's clear. Hold the breath, out through the mouth. Just one more. Hold and out. Breathe in slowly and just let the air out as the arms come down. That's good. Great. So that's a very gentle way of doing it. You know that there's a faster way. When you drop down, the exhalation is forced. It's a If I do it one time, just so that those of you who aren't familiar with it know what you're letting yourselves in for. All right, so it's exactly the same movement. The breath is in, hold, and then it's a really fast, you make a sort of, and it's that angle that pushes more waste out. We'll only do it 5 times. If at any point you feel a bit lightheaded, just stop instantly, okay? All right, lovely. So, I really do sound like an aerobics instructor in this stage. Okay, palms face back. Breathe in slowly. Arms make a big circle and out fast. In. And out. In. Big circle and out. In. And out. Last one. And out. And in. And let the breath out. Ah, that's good. Now, I wasn't able to watch to see if anyone was wincing, but I hope that downward movement was okay with everyone. No one's got a twingy back. Okay, all right. Now we can calm down. After that, I'm going to open the window a bit. No builders today, just seagulls. And that movement, any movement which is quite aerobic, brings our energy up into the chest, makes us a bit top heavy. It stirs up our chi, like having a bottle of something sparkling, a fizzy drink that you've shaken up. We're not going to be like a child and open the top and let it all go spurting all over the place. We want to let it calm down. So feet back under the shoulders. Without looking at your feet, just make them as near parallel as possible. Have an image in your mind as to where your feet are pointing. That's it. Arms hanging. My heart is still beating quite fast after that whole body breathing. The breath is up in the chest. That's fine. At the moment, just let the breath be wherever it needs to be. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Feel how you touch the earth. Feel your heels, maybe letting your weight drop back onto the heels. Letting your weight come forward so you feel the balls of your toes. Are your toes happy to touch the earth? My toes love curling off the earth, so I have to make a conscious effort to try and say, come on toes, down, you can touch the earth. Just pushing the knees ever so slightly outwards so you feel that outer edge of your feet, that hard line of skin from the little toe down to the heel. Letting that touch the earth. Making sure you haven't pushed your knees out so far that the big toe lifts off the earth. That's it. And then after all that attention on the earth and our feet and how we touch the earth, whether you like it or not, you'll have been drawn down towards it. So to balance that, coming back up, connecting with that puppet string that draws you up. If you notice your nose moving up towards the sky, just tuck the chin in and let it go. Just making sure you're not snooty. You can be posh and regal, but not snooty, not looking down your nose at the world. Spine soft, string of chunky bones just hanging from the base of the skull. If shoulders still feel a bit tight, stiff, wriggling, fidgeting, whenever you need to. That's it. The other area which is often a lock is the base of the spine, where the pelvis joins the bottom of the spine. So again, just tucking the tailbone in, so you tilt the pelvis backwards, pull the tailbone in, but then let it go. We don't want to hold a tight, tense position. That locks your chi up. So releasing, but then letting go. That's it. Arms hanging off the shoulders. Knees soft. Earth supporting. Whether you like it or not, you don't even have to ask the earth to support you. It does. Sky lengthening, lightening. And now we can begin to take our attention to the breath. Any sensation that tells us we're breathing. Any awareness of air coming into our body, through the nose, through the mouth, down the windpipe, chest filling, belly filling. Feeling clothes getting a bit tighter as you breathe in, a little looser as you breathe out. That's it. And then letting that awareness drop down to the sensations around the waistband of your trousers, your leggings, the belly filling up as you breathe in, emptying as you breathe out. Each breath in, drawing in qi, energy, oxygen. Each breath out, letting go of waste, carbon dioxide, anything you currently have no need for, just breathing it out. Not pushing it away. You can't do letting go of stuff. You just have to be in the right situation to allow it to happen. Now, from this basic Wu Qi position, just adopting the shopping bag stance, so that light bag of shopping hanging from your fingers, little space in the armpit, bending the elbows just enough to keep the bags away from your legs. Not heavy, not weighing you down bags, but just a few essentials, maybe fragile, box of eggs in each bag. You don't want to walk home and find you've got smashed eggs at the end of your journey, so you hold them very carefully away from your legs so you don't bash them as you walk. They're not so heavy you have to grip and clench your fists. You're just curling the fingers gently round the handles. Soft handles, cotton handles, not plastic handles. Take your attention back up to the crown of the head. Make sure that little extra weight hanging from your arms hasn't drawn your body down. That's it. All the time breathing in and out through the nose and the belly. Breathing in qi, refueling, refreshing. Breathing out waste, releasing. Soft breathing, not breathing so deeply the belly becomes tight and tense. Any pace is right. Allow your body to be comfortable in this position. If a muscle begins to judder or twitch, let it. Smile at it. Congratulate it for untangling itself. If you need to wriggle or fidget, give yourselves permission to wriggle and fidget. That's it. Good. All the time feeling the soles of the feet being pushed against the earth. The weight of your body being supported, being given stability from the earth. Now we have permission to move. So uncurl your fingers, let the bags and those eggs disappear before you drop them. Allow your arms to float up, and wherever the mind allows you to feel that qi between the palms of your hands, that's the right place. Some days it's really low, some days it's really high. Some days it's close to the body, some days it's far away. It's just where your mind makes that ball most tangible. Whether you have to work hard, it might be a day where the qi is hard to feel and you have to use your imagination, the mind's eye giving it a color or a texture. Some days it's just there. And then allowing the buoyancy of that ball to gradually draw your arms upwards. If you meet resistance in the shoulders, wriggle, fidget. If the resistance dissolves, go higher. If it doesn't, don't be competitive. Don't feel it should be higher. It's where your body says, that's where I can go today, in this moment. At the highest point, my hands have disappeared, but you know what happens with that ball. It divides, 2 small balls stuck to the palms of each hand, gradually supporting your arms down. If I move back slightly, maybe my hands won't get cut off. At the bottom of the circle, the large ball has the power to draw your arms upwards. Wherever your shoulders say that's high enough, that's where you stop. Allow the ball to divide and the 2 small balls gently supporting your arms down. The body breathes in, the large ball draws your arms up. The 2 small balls support your arms down, the body breathes out. Letting the movement fit with your comfortable breathing. However your body needs to move, maybe slower than Kim, maybe faster than Kim. Breathing in, the large ball has the power to draw your arms up. Breathing out, the 2 small balls support your arms down. All the time, the soles of your feet receiving support from the earth. Stability, confidence. All the time, the puppet string, the sky hook, supporting you from the sky, keeping your body light, extended, open. At the end of each breath in, that moment, such a small moment of stillness before the body breathes out. At the end of each breath out, that tiny moment of stillness before you breathe in. We just do 3 more circles. And at the end of your last circle, just letting the in-breath bring the ball of chi to a point of stillness, somewhere between the chest and the belly. Just checking the elbows are still hanging, the ball of chi is supporting your arms, making sure the body hasn't collapsed. So easy for the body to say, oh God, thank God we finished. So still light, extended. Shoulders haven't crept up towards your ears. Ears haven't crept down towards your shoulders. Soft breathing in the belly. And then just sliding the hands on top, and gravity takes the ball down to the earth. That's great. Lovely. And we'll go straight in to the Bhadwan knee rotation. So feet almost touching. I was facing the other way today. Let's face this way today. That's great. Knees touching if they want to. Again, most teachers say let your knees touch, but some bodies don't want the knees to touch, so don't force them. Hands resting on thighs. Sky hook lowers you down, spine still hanging, so not leaning forwards. Usually the ankles make that limit. That's good. And then tiny circles to begin with. Small, smooth circles. All the movement comes from the crown of the head. The puppet string lifts you and lowers you. Lifts you and lowers you. Again, if the muscles are beginning to get a bit tired, they will start to judder. That's fine. Allow them to judder. If any part of your body grumbles or complains, make the movement smaller. Even to the point where you can't see or feel your body moving. But in your mind, the knees are still creating little tiny micro nano circles. Each time the skyhook lowers you, soles of the feet being pushed against the earth, toes spreading, roots sinking down into the earth. Face soft. That's it. Skyhook lifts, skyhook lowers. Just 3 more circles in this direction. And then change direction. That's it. Slow, smooth circles. Respecting how your body feels. Quite often it doesn't like the opposite direction. So don't make the movements as big to begin with. Just let your body gradually get used to that different way of circling. And how do your knees and hips feel today, at this moment, in this space? Not how they should feel, not how they felt yesterday or 20 years ago. How do they feel right now, right here? That's it. Hands resting on the thighs, just good friends. Not doing any work, just being there. Just 3 more circles. 1, 2, 3. And then coming back to the basic standing position. It's always quite nice when I do a movement where my eyes are not looking at the screen and I come back to see you moving, to know that it hasn't suddenly frozen, that you're all still there. Those little tensions that build up in the body. Good idea. Thank you, Jill. I shall have a drink of water as well. That's it. Great. Okay. So let's do our usual root cultivation and then shaking. So coming back into the shoulder width stance, shifting your weight onto one side. Let's cut my head off for a little while we do the root cultivation. It's always quite nice to have a bit of variety there. That's it. You can see my feet. That's good. So I always shift my weight over onto my right side to begin these. I could intellectually say, I need to do it the opposite way around. But really trust your body. If one leg likes supporting, give it the opportunity to support straight away. So it doesn't have to always be different. So weight on one side, finding a comfortable place to let those toes bend. And again, comfortable depends on what surface you're on. If you're on a yoga mat or a carpet or a rug, they'll feel okay. If I was forwards on the wooden floor, it's a bit more of a harsh feeling. I adjust my position slightly. So there's just the position that you feel comfortable, where your toes are happy to bend. Let your weight drop over onto the base of one toe. And if it's a wobbly day, and you're happy to wobble, that's fine. If it's a wobbly day and you don't feel happy wobbling, have a chair in front of you. Have a wall near you. Give your body the ability to feel more confident if you need it. And then all that lovely chi in the belly. We're turning autumnal, so this is becoming a lovely warm winter vegetable broth. Maybe a parsnip and apple soup. Feeling that warming, nourishing feeling, flowing down all the blood vessels down to the base of one toe, one root, and then just rolling your foot from one toe to the next. As always, if it's easy to feel it physically, no problem. If you can't feel that third toe, use your mind. Say it. Third toe, third toe, third toe, fourth toe. Oh, that's great. And if it feels okay, then that flip backwards. Again, if it doesn't feel all right today, don't do it. But the relaxed weight of your leg dropping down onto the top of each toe, connecting the chi in the core with your roots. Ah. Heel on the ground, lasso that big toe. I can't hear you groaning, but don't stifle a groan as you stretch. And it's a happy groan. It's an exhaling groan. It's a ah. It's not a and pulling forwards. Oh, untangling knots in the hip and back. Oh, and then the other side. Oh. And again, if one leg, hip, knee, ankle feels a bit vulnerable, use a chair to give it more support. Find a place where the toes can bend. Let each toe connect with the core. Any image you have of warming, nourishing chi, reaching, flowing through the pathways of the hip, leg, knee, down to each toe. When you get to the big toe, a bit of Bunyan respect, not forcing the big toe joint to move further than it's comfortable. Ah, and flipping the toes back. Ah, wobbling if you are happy to wobble or need to wobble. Ah, just rolling the foot so the weight of your leg opens up the top of each toe, each root. Heel on the ground, lasso. Oh, oh. My right leg always creates louder, noisier groans than my left leg. Oh, that's it. And then we can shake out. Shaking anything off your feet that happens to have got stuck to them. Water after a shower, after a bath. Little flick from the knee to get a bit more off. Ah. Being barefoot walking on the dew in the morning and getting the dew off your feet. That's it. Ah, kick out from the hip, rubbish in the hip, leg like a tube. Ah, and that lovely sound like a cat coughing up a fur ball. Ah, that's it. Ah, enough of a kick to make the body judder, but not to scare the body. And the other side. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, that's it. And now we can shake wrists. Let's bring that up to the head again. There we are. Oh, haven't quite got my head clear. Oh, there we are. That's good. Oh, oh, that's it. The shape coming from the crown of the head. Ah, someone at Littlehampton said he felt like Andy Pandy. I don't know if your childhood brought you into contact with Andy Pandy. Anyway, loose limbs, shaking the wrists upside down, side to side. Let the shake come up through the elbows, wiggling the chest, wet dog shake down the back, loosening the jowls. That's it. Oh, and shaking as much as you need. Don't stop just because I've stopped. That's That's it. Oh, not so much Andy Pandy, more Looby Loo Ragdoll. Oh, that's good. So, and again, we've stirred up our chi, we've shaken it up. We need to settle it before we do something else. Ah, that's great. If, I keep forgetting to say, but if anyone at any point needs to sit down, do so. Don't force yourself to stand up. We're going to do a very formal Bhadwan Jin exercise, which I think most of you are familiar with. It's called raising one hand, strengthen stomach and spleen. It can be done sitting down. So if your body needs to sit, if your legs need a break, sit on something. If it's a chair, bring yourself forward so you're not sitting using the back of the chair to support you. Oh, now what's happened? Someone, oh, a little message appeared and then it disappeared before I could see what it was. Never mind. So feet under the shoulders. If you're sitting on a chair, feel the sitting bones, the ischial tuberosities, allowing the bottom to feel that support just as much as the soles of your feet. Skyhook supports. After all that shaking, my heart is beating a little faster than usual. It's calming. Chest isn't moving quite so much, but allow the chest to move. Taking your attention down to the belly. That's it. Allowing the belly to gradually move more. Allowing the breath to come and go. If the chest wants to move, let it. Indulge it. That's good. Now, bringing your hands up to that classic Qigong position, just visualizing, feeling the ball of Qi between the palms of your hands. Making sure the shoulders didn't creep up as your arms floated up. Elbows are soft. Again, there's no right or wrong position, but it's good to have the ball near enough, if I turn sideways, to allow the elbows to hang. If the ball is too far away, you create a tension around the shoulders. It's hard to feel the ball supporting your arms. That's it. That's great. So one of the reasons I love this little tiny parts of each exercise is that we actually release the ball. It's well trained. It doesn't go floating off. So there's a point in this exercise where we let go of the ball of Qi, but it stays floating in front of us for us to reconnect with. So slide one hand on top, one hand underneath. Doesn't matter which. That's good. Now, the lower hand lets go of the ball of the Qi and the palm faces downwards, fingers forwards. Upper hand lets go of the Qi. Palm up, fingers back. Now I'm just going to move a bit further away so that upturned hand doesn't disappear. That's good. Now, sort of waiter position. Tray resting on that upturned hand. And my wrist is quite flexible, but if you've ever broken your wrist or it's a bit stiff, you can let the tray rest on the tips of your fingers, wherever the hand feels comfortable. And on that tray, just let your mind create something really precious, precarious, pair of cut glass champagne flutes from your wedding anniversary. Oh, why are you holding them up there where they might possibly get broken? and just lifting that precious, precarious object up as far as you can. And when you can go no further, and it might be your physical body, but it might be your mind that says, oh, I'm going to drop it. That lower hand connects with a big rock sticking out of the earth, a big solid oak table. It gives you support and confidence to hold up that precious object. And then just let the image disappear. The hands reconnect with the ball of qi floating in front of us. The hand on top slides underneath. The hand underneath slides on top. And give your shoulders a little wriggle. Leave as much of the tension from the first movement behind so you don't take it forwards to the next. Make sure your feet are firmly connected to the earth. Make sure the sky hook is keeping you light. Lower hand lets go, palm down, fingers forwards. Upper hand lets go, palm up, fingers back. That tray resting on that upturned hand, and anything that is precious to you. Doesn't have to be something material, but just precious, precarious, lifting, supporting. How far can you lift that precious object before you need help from the earth with that lower hand, connecting with that rock, that solid table? And then let the image disappear. Palms reconnect with the qi. Hands slide round. Ah, little wriggle of the shoulders again, releasing as much tension as you're able to. That's good. Lower hand lets go of the qi, palm faces down. Upper hand lets go of the qi, palm faces up, fingers back. Again, just pause long enough to make that precious object as real as possible. Preferably not too heavy. This isn't about power and strength. This is about poise and balance, the ability to support and be supported. And when you need support, the earth is there. That rock, that solid oak table, immovable. And let the image disappear. Reconnect with the ball of qi. Lower hand slides on top. Upper hand slides underneath. Lower hand palm down, fingers forwards. Upper hand palm up, fingers back. Moment of pause just to let the mind create that precious, precarious, fragile object lifting, lifting, lifting. And when you need support, it's always there. It allows you to hold that precious object up just a little longer, a little higher, and then let it go. And we'll just do one more to each side. Hands slide round. Little wriggle, always releasing tension and acknowledging if the tension doesn't want to release. Lower hand palm down, upper hand palm up. That precious, precarious, fragile object lifting, 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 and receiving help. The earth manifesting under your palm as a rock, as a table. And let the images disappear. Reconnect with the ball of qi. Lower hand slides on top, upper hand slides underneath. Lower hand palm down, fingers forwards. Upper hand palm up, fingers back. Make that precious object appear and lift. It's not heavy, but you need poise and balance to lift and support that precious, fragile object. And when you can go no further, that rock is there to give you stability. And let the image disappear. This time the hands just slide either side of the ball of Qi. Make sure the sky hook keeps you fully extended. I'm just smiling because I saw a slump at the end where someone was saying, oh, thank God we're finished. That's good. Let the breath drop down into the belly. And then slide your hands on top of the ball and gravity takes it down. That's good. And just let the arms hang. Soft breathing in the belly, back to that beautiful, simple, receiving space. Wu Qi position. Anytime, anywhere you're waiting, you have a moment. Supermarket queues, bank queues. Just 2 or 3 breaths. Breathing in, recharging, refueling. Breathing out, releasing, letting go of waste. And a well-deserved wriggle and fidget. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's great. Now, it's coming up to 11. I can't remember, there was someone, actually I think Tracy may already have gone, said they could only stay for the first hour. Anyway, if you have to slide away, this might be a good time to slide away. Okay, see you, Sharon. That was so formal. I think we need to do something which is a little bit more free flow. And in my mind, I had particular exercises, but they're more formal exercises. And Qigong is about balancing intuitional movement with formal movement. So to begin with, let's do a movement that we're very familiar with, which is the standing in the lake movement. So feet comfortably wide apart. Again, listen to your body. If knees, hips, ankles are a little bit dodgy, adopt a stance that your body's happy with. Make sure you're not going to hit anything on your left or anything on your right. I've adopted this nice jaunty angle to the camera, so, And the first stage of the water movement is just acknowledging the water that you're standing in. Make it safe water that you feel okay with. Make the bed of the lake smooth. It's not prickly, not terrible pebbles that make you go ouch, ouch, ouch. Not sinky sand or sludge that makes you feel unstable. Nice firm base like a swimming pool, firm sand, smooth pebbles. Somewhere where the water is just the right temperature. Not chilling water, but refreshing water. Even when it's only up to your thighs, you feel that support. It lightens the weight of the body. It takes the workload off the weight-bearing joints. And we don't usually do this, but just to begin with, a little bit of that child energy, just letting the palms of your hands drop down onto the surface of the water, feeling the ripples against the palms of your hands. Last time I was down by the sea, it was mill pond smooth. It was hard to believe it was sea. It was so smooth. There was so little wind. Really feeling the water against the palms of your hands. Anything in your mind that makes it real. Any images that brings the water. Now, the back of one hand rests on the ledge at the bottom of the spine. That's just in there. If your shoulder doesn't like that position, lower the position to the point where the shoulder feels comfortable. But the ledge is quite nice. It means it's easier to just let the hand relax a little. That's it. And during the exercise, quite often the hand tightens up. might even become a fist. So every now and again, we can take our attention to that hand and just let it flop down. That's it. Great. The other hand, reaching out, palm down, it draws the body over onto that side, and then drop your hand down into the water. Feel the resistance of the water as you push your hand through. Feel how easily your hand slides through the air. If your neck allows it, let your eyes follow the movement of your hand. Dropping down. As your hand pushes through the water, feel the turbulence as the water slides between your fingers. Let your mind create drops of water running down your arm, dripping off your hand, splashing you on the face. Refreshing, purifying, cleansing water. Dropping down. As your hand pushes through the water, refractions, reflections, light glinting. What can your mind create, remember of a hand moving through water? And whenever this moving hand begins to feel tired or simply wants a change, give it permission to have a rest. So the moving hand comes to rest on the ledge at the bottom of the spine, and the other hand reaches out, palm down. Cleansing, refreshing, purifying. The movement can be fast or slow. Trust your body to know what it needs to do. Sometimes the downward movement is quite fast, the upward movement quite slow. Again, no rules, just what feels right. And whenever that moving hand needs a rest, letting the back of the hand rest on the ledge at the bottom of the spine, the other hand reaches out. Letting the breath come and go whenever the body decides. All the time, that water, as real as possible. Sometimes the mind can be quite playful. Oh, there's a bit of seaweed down there. Oh, there's a little fish that's been scared by my finger going through the water. Changing sides when you need to. And the moving hand draws our attention, which is fine. But every now and again, just take your attention to that still hand resting on the ledge at the bottom of the spine. Just checking it hasn't become tight and rigid. It's just soft, stuck there with a bit of Velcro on the back of the wrist. Changing sides, seeing if one wrist is easier to soften than the other. We're just going to do 3 more circles. If you want to change hands for those last 3 circles, do so. And then at the end of the 3rd circle, the last circle, just let the moving hand come to rest. So both hands are stuck on the ledge at the bottom of the spine. Feet come back under the shoulders. That's good. It's a slow movement, but it's still quite aerobic. It makes the chi move up from the belly, up into the chest. The chest starts breathing. So just holding that resting space, the backs of the wrists resting on the ledge at the bottom of the spine, sky hook supporting, soles of the feet being and receiving support from the earth. Letting the chest gradually do less work, letting the belly do more. And when your mind is comfortably able to imagine, to feel, breathing into the belly, just letting the arms hang, back in the Wu Chi position. If anything needs a shake or a wriggle, not too vigorous at this stage, just a little bit of a shake, just a bit of a fidget, but not mad shakings. That's it. Good. Now, I'd like to do another intuitional movement. When I sat down to plan this, I was going to simply repeat the 2 Dao Yin movements we did last week. And something about structure is, it needs a balance. The Dao Yin movements are 2 very, very formal movements. And it's quite nice to have Qigong movements which are more about our intuition. So we're going to do a movement which some of you are familiar with, some of you have never come across, called chasing Qi or playing with Qi. It has a formal structure to begin with, but once you start moving, you trust your body to move in whatever way it feels comfortable. All right. And my first teacher who introduced me to this just said, if the judging mind, the critical mind says you're doing it wrong, you just go faster. You leave the mind behind. That's it. So, slightly wider than shoulder width stance. That's it. And just experiment, if you can, try and use the image of the puppet string drawing you over onto one side. See how that side feels when all the weight is over on one side, and then let the puppet string draw you over onto the other side. Just seeing if hips, knees on each side feel confident to allow this movement. That's it. Spine is still hanging. We're doing that movement a bit like the old-fashioned windscreen wipers on red London buses. We're not doing a metronome impersonation, so we're not leaning over. We're keeping the spine nicely upright. Ah, that's good. So from this position, coming back to the center point where both legs are supporting your weight comfortably, bring your hands up to feel that ball of Qi. Ah, that's good. And then slide one hand on top and one hand underneath. That's great. And whichever hand is on top, this is, I'll be interested to look at I always forget whether or not my image is reversed or not. Anyway, this hand that I'm wiggling, the one on top, whichever side that is, you let your body go over towards that side. So your weight goes over to the side of the top hand. The hand allows the ball of Qi to reach out to the side. And there's a certain point where you just think, well, if I go any further, I'm going to lose my balance. So where you feel that beginning of tightness that says, oh, that's my limit, that's where you stop. That upper hand slides round and nudges the ball back in the opposite direction. So your hand slides round the ball and you go as far as you can. And again, you'll feel it. The minute the body starts saying, oh, if I go any further, I'll lose my balance, that top hand slides round, nudges the Qi back. And you go back in the opposite direction. When you can go no further, top hand nudges the Qi back. So to begin with, we're just letting the qi move as far as it's comfortable from left to right. That's good. And if you find that you're not moving the same as Kim, that's fine. Trust your body to move in whatever way it feels comfortable. The only intention is to let the qi move as freely as possible from the left to the right. That top hand just stops it moving too far and nudges it back in the opposite direction. That's good. Lovely. Now, from this simple movement, imagine you're going to take that ball of qi on a little guided tour around your body. And it may be your physical body says, there are certain places I can't get to, but it doesn't matter. So try taking the qi down low towards the earth. If you need to adjust your stance to wider, that's fine. Oh, maybe the qi likes being low down, but your body says, I can't do this for long. So come back up again. See if the qi would like to go high up above your head. Again, maybe a shoulder doesn't like going up high. Just letting the qi go as high as your body is happy. When your body says, I need to come down again, come down. If your spine allows it, try and show the qi what's behind you. Letting the spine turn. That's it. You're developing a dialogue with the qi. Where would you like to go, qi? Out of the window. But you can't. You might get damaged. Have as much freedom around me as you can. Sometimes the body wants to move slowly. Sometimes the qi wants to move fast. Like me when I'm with my grandson saying, Grampy's tired, I can't carry on running any longer. Ah. However you move is perfect. Slow, fast. The ball of qi may become distorted like a fairy liquid bubble. Ah. It may become small or large. All the time, the ball of qi is between your hands. That's great. And there's a certain point where you simply have to ask the ball of qi or tell the ball of qi that the exercise has got to come to a finish. So gradually letting the movement get slower and slower, smaller and smaller. Feet coming back under the shoulders. Gradually bringing that ball of qi to a point of stillness in front of your body. Again, take your attention up to the crown of the head. Make sure that skyhook hasn't allowed you to collapse. It still supports you, keeps you light. Make sure you've now got that connection with the earth beneath your feet. Soft breathing in the belly. Slide your hands on top of the ball and gravity takes it down to the earth. And just let the arms hang. That's great. Soft breathing in the belly, recharging, replacing, renewing, breathing out, releasing, creating space for the next breath in. Little fidget, a little wriggle, not too vigorous. That's good. Ah, that's lovely. Now, my timekeeping has gone a little bit to pot. I'm just looking at the clock, and I don't want to do a rushed lying down recumbent chi. I think we'll just calm our bodies down and see where that leads us. If you end up at the end of this session missing the recumbent chi, you can lie down afterwards. So let's just calm the body down. Feet firmly stuck to the earth, back in the Wu Chi position. If you need to sit, then sit. But again, use the sky hook to support you. That's it. Soft breathing in the belly. Now, I'd like to do 2 finishing off exercises. One is quite a physical movement. It's about helping get rid of stagnation, but it's not the shaking the body. I think at the moment we don't want to jiggle our bodies around too much. So it's one of the Baduan Jin exercises called lowering head and hips removes heat from the heart. So if you shift your weight over onto one side, that's good. And again, I'm just going to show a bit more of the ceiling. That's better. That might be too much ceiling, we'll see, but you don't really need to see what my feet are doing. That's good. Shift your weight over onto one side and just let the arm on that side reach up as far as your shoulder is happy to reach. If the shoulder says, I've got to my limit, then let the elbow bend. But wherever the shoulder, the elbow, the arm stops, then allow the side of the body to open up. You're reaching up as high as you can. That's it, opening up the side of the body. That's great. And then come down. And just see how the other side feels. Again, shift your weight onto that side. The arm on that side comes up, up, up. I often give this movement to some of my clients who have back problems and shoulder problems. I call it picking fruit. You imagine you're reaching up, whatever your favorite fruit is, a ripe plum, a peach, a nectarine, but that one that your hands just got hold of, it's not quite ripe, so you need the one another couple of inches higher, really opening up that side. And then come back down again. That's great. Okay, so I'm just moving a bit further away as I noticed my hands were disappearing. The channels in Chinese medicine that run down the side of the body are about decision-making and finding ways through obstructions. So quite often in life, we meet an obstruction. Someone says, well, you can't do that. Or a plan is thwarted, maybe by lockdown. And we can either see ways of being creative and see ways through the maze, through past the obstruction, or we can headbang. And it's that headbanging energy that in Chinese medicine makes heat come up and overheats the heart and makes us angry and impatient and frustrated. So this movement where you're opening up the side of the body is opening up and encouraging chi to flow through the pathways that create creativity. All right? So, feet under the shoulders, starting in the Wu Chi position. Shift your weight onto one side. Let that arm come up as far as possible. Again, you need to open up that side first, and then keeping your eyes shoulders, hips, all in one plane. So you keep looking at the horizon. The head drops over, the arm drops over, this arm hangs. So you're not squeezing this side of the body. You're just letting gravity, the weight of your head, the weight of your arm open. And then to come out, you breathe in. The in-breath fills the chest, pushes you up, and you breathe out, dropping down. That's great. Shift the weight to the other side. Reach up to that right fruit, reaching up. It's just at your maximum reach. And then breathe out as you drop over. Keep looking at the horizon so you don't twist the spine. Don't pull. Weight is fine. And then breathe in to come out and drop down. That's great. Shift the weight over. Breathe in. Up, up, up. Never higher than you can smile. And breathe out as you drop over. Keep looking at the horizon so you don't twist your spine. You're not pulling over, it's just relaxed weight. And breathe in to come out of the stretch and breathe out. Shift your weight to the other side. Breathe in, reaching up, reaching up, reaching up. And when you can go no further up, then you can breathe out and drop over. Really feeling this side of the body opening up. That's good. Keep looking at the horizon. Breathe in and out. That's great. One more to each side. Shifting your weight over. Breathe in. Going up, up, up. How far can you go up and still smile? And breathe out. Keep looking at the horizon so you don't twist the spine. Oh, that's good. And breathe in to fill the chest, pushing the head up. And breathe out as you come down. Last movement, shifting the weight over. Breathe in, 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 in. Oh, how far can you go up? And breathe out. Keep looking at the horizon. Head hangs. And breathe in to come out of the movement. And breathe out. That's great. Back into the Wu Chi position. It may make you quite warm. That whole thing about releasing stuck energy. It always lets the body warm up. If you're feeling cold, that's a great movement to do. Letting the energy sink down. That's great. Soft breathing in the belly, back in the Wu Chi position. Now, we're getting ready to go off wherever life takes us. So just shifting your weight, just that ritual of shifting your weight, lifting up each foot, imagining extracting your roots from the earth. Whether you're going to do some work in your own home, you're just lifting your roots from this space, this shared space with us, getting ready to move to another space in your house, somewhere else, another part of the country. And just getting into a position where you can imagine that we're in the same physical space. That's it, Moira, thank you. Put your screen onto gallery so we can see the 5 people in the circle, the 6 people. Can you see it? If it's difficult to turn it to gallery, don't worry, but it makes it easier to really imagine us in a circle. We're in 5 separate rooms, 6 people, but we're in a circle. That's great. shared space, shared cyberspace, shared energetic space. Bring the hands up, create that ball of chi. Slide your hands behind each of those balls and very gently pushing those 5 balls together, creating one shared ball of chi. And just pause and imagine the contours of that shared ball of chi. A 5-person ball of chi. Fingertips create a fold in the surface. Hold on tight. Breathe in and really feel the other 4 people pulling, stretching, expanding with you. Belly softens, palms open. Breathe out, squeezing, compressing, refining. Hands relax. Hold on to the edge. Again, tight fist. The chi is slippery. Breathe in. Really expanding. Belly softens, palms face forwards. Breathe out. Refining, purifying that chi. Hands relax. Last stretch. Hold on tight. Breathe in. And relax, palms face forward. Last squeeze, pushing all the air out. Purifying, refining the chi, making it dense and heavy. Hands relax, slide on top, and gravity takes your hands down. Oh.